This is Dr. Tuzlena with Elevate Chiropractic, bringing you a quick video on why some kids get chronic ear infections and others do not. I want to start off by just touching on the point that even though ear infections may be quite common in kids, it's not normal for them to get an ear infection. So you may be asking yourself the question of, well, why does my child keep on getting these ear infections? Well, it's not as though that your child's walking through clouds of germs. Germs are always around us, bacteria and viruses. What's actually occurring is that the fluid within their ear is not able to drain properly, which creates a swamp-like environment. Now, what that does is these stagnant fluid will create or that environment to where bacteria and viruses can grow more easily, thus leading to an ear infection. So why are the ears not draining properly? Well, just like the esophagus is a muscle that helps milk the fluid and food that we chew and drink, just like how you can swallow being upside down, that muscle milks that fluid into the stomach. In the ear, there's a muscle called the tensor veli palatini muscle that does a similar thing. It, when it goes into spasm, though, it doesn't allow that fluid to drain properly, thus creating that swamp-like environment, thus allowing those bugs to grow more easily and creating the ear infection. So why would the tensor veli palatini muscle be in spasm in the first place? Well, 9 out of 10 times we can actually trace it back to something that occurred in birth. Now, because the neck is such a vital area and a sensitive area in these little kiddos, and it's also the area where the nerve that goes to the tensor veli palatini muscle comes from. It's an area of utmost importance. It's an area that can commonly be irritated during the birth process, and particularly in births that involve invasive techniques like forceps, vacuum, and C-section. This can irritate those nerves, particularly in the upper neck area, particularly the one that goes to the tensor veli palatini muscle, thus causes that muscle to spasm, allowing the fluid to build up, thus creating the environment to allow the ear infection to occur in the first place. So can antibiotics help? Does drilling a hole in the ear sound like the best solution? Well, the American Academy of Pediatrics, along with countless other medical research articles, has actually said for decades not to give antibiotics to kids to start off with that have ear infections because not only do they not work very well, they significantly increase their risk of getting future ear infections. They also increase the risk for developing allergies and also developing asthma. So in the long run, in fact, they're better off doing nothing at all. So what can you do about it? Well, restoring normal function back to the tensor veli palatini muscle, allowing the fluid to drain properly, is a way to really get to the cause of the situation here. This is where chiropractic comes into play, where adjustments that are safe and gentle can help remove this interference to these nerves, allowing that nerve supply to go back to that tensor veli palatini muscle, allowing it to go back to proper function, which is draining the ear canal itself. So, is there a way to find out if your child has nerve interference? Absolutely. Chiropractors that care for kids will have this technology, which is actually Space Foundation certified. It's been used on a number of different space missions. It's non-invasive, it's painless, there's no radiation, and there's no guessing that's occurring. Here's an example of Christopher, who was a 3-year-old that had 15 episodes of ear infections along with antibiotic use as well. His next step was recommended to get the ear tube surgery, and his parents did not want to go that route. So they brought him in for an evaluation. We did find interference, as you can see there, in those colored areas, particularly in the upper part of the neck. And after a series of adjustments, we were able to actually remove that interference, allowing his body to work better again, particularly to the tensor veli palatini muscle, and he hasn't had an ear infection since. So, wouldn't it be great if your child was the next chiropractic success story amongst many others that we've helped? If you are interested in to see if your child can benefit from chiropractic care, if they do have nerve interference, we can get them checked for this. You can just contact us at the information here on the screen. If we are not conveniently located for you, please still contact us. I know many other doctors throughout the country and the world that care for these little kiddos that have this technology that can help you and your family, and particularly the little kiddo, out as well. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please share with those that you may be interested on Facebook or email that can actually benefit from this. And I want to thank you again for watching.